Welcome back. Part 3. Camperville. Redneck Shanty. The wife's in there painting. So let's get to painting. Look at that. This is a rarity. It is a wifey in her natural habitat. Painting walls. And in good old GoPro fashion, you buy a GoPro, you gotta buy a special adapter from GoPro just to hook a microphone up, just so you have good audio, and then it all messes up and you don't get any audio at all. So yeah, now I have to voice over. So this is a regular 12-volt light. The red wire is for hot, the black is for ground. The reason I have 3 wires coming out of my ceiling is because one of them is going to come from the switch. It will get its power, come into the light. Well, the reason the other green wire goes up, or why there's 2 wires and I'm connecting all 3 together, is so it can feed the next light. Do the same thing on the next one, it'll feed the next light, so on and so on. So when you turn the switch on, all 4 of those lights will come on. We got the 2 green wires making that connection, and then twisting the red wire around it, soldering it all together. If you look at my left hand right there where the solder is, above it, that little red piece is heat shrink. If you notice, the red wire is coming in the opposite direction of where the heat shrink is. So that way when I slide it over, it all lays down nice and flat, and then heat shrink it. And that way if the red wire gets pulled from the light, like you take the light down, you pull on it, it won't pull on a joint, it pulls on the heat shrink. The black wire that I'm soldering now is pretty straightforward. Twist it, throw some solder on it, slide the heat shrink up, crack torch it. One thing I want to point out is I checked to see if it was hot. As you see, I grabbed it. I mess this up all the time, and it's that frustrating. If the joint's too hot and you slide that heat shrink over it, yeah, the heat shrink will start to shrink before you get the exposed wire covered. So make sure it's cooled down before you do that, or you're going to have to do it all over again, or use electrical tape. So right here, I'm throwing a crack torch to it, and that's pretty much it. If you got any questions, just comment below, and I'll answer it best I can, or maybe make another video on just this. I don't know. They're going GoPros and their audios. So, got a few more things here on the list to do. I ended up getting these smaller boxes that I was told about. So, these are the boxes I'm going to use. Something that I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to do is that I'm thinking about butting these on the wall like that. And then you got plenty of room to get the wire in and everything. The other idea is to cut it out and put, you know, inlay that into the trim, cutting this out so it can actually lay in there even farther, and then that way they'd all be recessed. Last couple clips there, you see me wiring up these lights and painting, and this is where we're at right now. Hopefully the microphone's working, but I've got just a battery on a trickle charge grounded to the frame, and then the main light's hooked up, and there you go. So now I can actually work in some light instead of having that light dangling in here. And I installed this. This is a cigarette lighter, you know, trucker fan, or charge your cell phone. The bed will be right here, so I'm gonna put one there. And the next project is to install one here. I can run that green all the way over. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, because this is the hot going to it. So yep, enjoy. So right there, that should have me same exact hole that's over there, so here goes nothing. And battery dead. Be bad if I drilled all the way through. No hole. That's good. Alright, so this piece of wood, I drilled a smaller hole just big enough to fit that socket in. So this socket is the same thing as the other side and fits right in there real nice like. It's got this little keeper on the back that keeps it tight. Get that good tight. And then I'm gonna go put 2 screws in that. Alright, so now I got 2 screws in that. I did pre-drill every hole in this. So on the other side, got this piece of wood cut. Everything looked outstanding. I was excited about it. I was happy about it. And then I went and screwed into it, of course, knowing better, but I didn't think about it and it split. So I had to undo all of it, unsolder it, or cut the wires, resolder the back, cut a new piece of wood, drill a new piece of hole, pilot all those. So this time I have them all. Well, I've been through the soldering on 2 different videos now, and so instead of 2 wires, I just heat up this little prong, put some solder on it, put some solder on the wire, hold the 2 together, getting hot. They melt together, hold it, dries. Put heat shrink over it, so it's gonna go in just like that, and I'll mount it to the wall, and we'll be done with this one after we put this ground up. So let's do it. Alright, so there it is. Got the 12 volt, another socket there. Bed will be right in there, up against the wall, and it'll fold down. So that way, whichever side you're sleeping on, me and the wife, you'll have a cigarette lighter to plug in. Yeah, that's the trim. This one's gonna be the tricky one. This is where the AC plugs are gonna be. And I haven't decided if I'm gonna put them in the wall or right outside the wall. I think I'm gonna go outside the wall. I can go back and touch it up later if I want to. There's a whole lot of work, but I'm breaking it up. But here's another thing that I did. My battery will be here. All those wires will be hooked to switches. So each one of those wires will have its own switch. Unless like fan, I don't have a fan, so it won't be hooked up. But you got the main lights on one switch, the porch light on one switch, the rear light on one switch, the cabinet lights on one switch. It'll all have their own switch eventually. This was a stock switch that come in the trailer, but I took that switch back here and ran the ground from this to it. And so when that switch is on, and then this light will come on. But when you come to bed, and you wanna, cause like I said, the bed will be right here, so you can turn off all the main lights and have this one light on up here, and then you can come in here or reach over off the bed, turn that light off, and go to sleep. So yeah, that's what we're at right now. I think I'm gonna call it a wrap. No, I'm gonna do this side. I'm gonna get this wire and get this over with. Ooh, it's a lot. Alright, so I drilled a 2 3/4 inch hole. I knew it was going to come all the way through. Knocked it all the way through. It's on the front. Put the receptacle out there. Running my 10 gauge to the breaker box. Then I'll run all this. Not really going to get into how you should or shouldn't run electric, because I'm no electrician. yeah, so this is all gonna be time lapse. If you want to learn how to hook this up, I'm sure there's 100 videos on YouTube talking about it. So yeah, let's get this put up. Alright, so that I think is going to be a wrap on this video. I'm trying to keep these kind of short and then add them all to a playlist. But yep, so we got the lights working, got some of the trim going up, and a lot of DC wire is run up there. This one's going to be, you know, real easy. Just put the trim up. This one, just like I've been saying, I'm going to run the AC in this crack, just like this. So I had the idea, or people was telling me the idea of recessing these into this plywood and into the trim, and would pretty much recess it. I just think it would be a hassle. It's already going to be a hassle the way it is. Because this would be the countertop area. It could be a coffee pot, toaster oven, microwave. So I'm only running 3 on that breaker. This box has got 2 breakers in it. The other breaker will come down through here. Right here will be a plug. Right in this area will be a plug, and then down there will be a plug, and then outside, y'all seen me run in the previous video, have another plug. After that, after I get that run, I'm gonna get all this trim, pretty much the whole back of the camper, other than the bed and little tables and knickknacks like that. Pretty much everything will be buttoned up. And then I'm gonna take it over to my old man's house, and we're gonna build the countertop and the cabinets. There's gonna be a cabinet over that to hide it. And once we get back, it'll be a little trim work like this, and little trim around the bottom, and then we got the flooring there. And those 2 panels go there. I ain't decided how I'm running that yet. Let it out. Let it out. I'm gonna let it out. So yeah. So that's a wrap for this video. I appreciate y'all watching the Chunk channel, and stay tuned for, I think, video 4. Yeah. On the camper shanty cargo trailer camper toy hauler build. God bless.